Hi Rangers! Welcome to another episode of My Name is Bigfoot, and you are, sir?
My name is Richie Nelson.
Richie Nelson.
Also known as Richie Dagger.
And that's also the name of your band too, right?
Yes, Richie Daggers Crime.
How would you describe your music style for your band?
Right now it's mainly pop music,
Okay.
and then
But it's pop music with like eight members, right?
yeah, so we have 8 members to fulfill the whole sonic range, and that kind of accumulated over time as I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with these songs that I wrote, yeah, it's been about 2 years, and people have come and gone, but we're a big family. So
You write your own lyrics?
yeah. So the last EP was mainly a tribute, it was mainly covers and like different variations of pop songs in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and then some more contemporary stuff. And that was kind of like, I kind of went out and did something different for a little bit, because I've been releasing songs that have been more like dubby and electronic for a while. And but I guess my next release is going to be mainly original material, writing all my lyrics and such.
Well, what gets you into the writing mode? Like, do you have to sit down, lock yourself into a room, or do you just happen to hear a melody, or how does it click for you?
It's a good question. I think anxiety, because like sometimes I get so much anxiety if I have no way to like express what I'm like thinking about throughout the week, and I feel like it kind of builds up like a blocked drain or something that I have to go and work out. So I guess it's therapeutic in that way.
So how did you come up with Richie Dagger?
Richie Daggers Crime.
Richie Daggers Crime.
It's so it's originally a germ song, and I started out with punk music, and I love punk music, and that's kind of where my roots are at. But I've really branched out in a lot of different ways, and I like to dabble in multiple genres in that sense.
What brings you to Washington?
Well, I've been here for about 6 years, and I first came here for school actually, but then I decided to stay because I liked it so much, and now I'm doing music out here.
What were you studying in school?
I did a program called CHID. It was called Comparative History of Ideas. That was the acronym, and it's kind of multidisciplinary, and you can focus on what you want. I mainly focus on German Enlightenment and German environmentalism and post-colonial theory. But I also did environmental studies too. But now I'm not doing that at all.
What are some new things that you're trying?
New things that we're trying. I guess having the band and having so many parts that intersect and that are like, I'm trying to keep in time with each other. I've never led a group this big before, and just constantly rewriting so that like different sounds don't interfere with each other, and each show is a learning process in some ways.
Now, what are some of your inspirations?
Oh gosh, I really like Nick Drake actually, in the way he plays guitar. I play guitar, not so well, but I try to imitate his style in some ways. One of many. I guess I really like this band called Ava Luna. They're out of Brooklyn, and they play R&B, but like really like angular. Like they're like really like stop and go and kind of crazy sounding. So,
if you were to give advice to somebody else that was going to start a bigger band like you did, 5 or more, what would be your advice?
Figure out all the music before you start incorporating other people, because then you feel like you're wasting their time constantly, and so you gotta get all your shit together first.
You know, you were going to college and then you switched back to music, and I was just like, what brought you back to music?
I just always loved it, and I guess there's one summer when I was running a lot, and I realized that it was the one thing that really brings me joy in my life, and I was like, it just seems so obvious, I guess. Mainly my motivation is, I feel like I was in orchestra in high school playing the violin, and I would get these moments of just tingling all over my body, and like I would feel like I was like the music was resonating in a way that was like enlightening me in some way, and I guess I pursued that feeling ever since.
I like that. What's next on your plate?
I'm looking for to reconfigure the band in certain ways to make it so that there's no backing tracks. That's like a huge project right now, is getting the right band members so that we can all stay in a flow on stage. And I'll probably, once we get that, I'll arrange the whole LP live so we can start touring.
Excellent.
But
do you have a name, or is it going to be self-titled?
It's called Sea of Dysfunction. Sea of Dysfunction?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it's like, it's kind of schizophrenic in its sound in some ways, and I kind of like, I feel like it gets that way from like how much media I'm consuming recently, like through like streaming sites and Facebook, and like you can see the world and like you can like jump from different places of the world within seconds, and that like jumping and dichotomy of experiences is, I think, what I'm trying to convey in this new record.
Well, if anybody was here to try to reach out to you or to catch your stuff, how can they see you?
I guess YouTube's a great channel. We have 4 music videos that recently came out, and they're all kind of like different aspects of the sound that you can. It's good to it's a good place to start discovering our music.
Well, you said you're originally from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
What is some of the best things to do in Chicago if I ever happen to go east?
Best things to do in Chicago. There's a temple called the Bahá'í Temple in Wilmette that's has a bunch of gardens around it, and it's one of the only temples on this continent for Bahá'í faith, and it's really beautiful and ornate, and it's in Wilmette, Illinois, just north of Chicago. That's really cool to go see.
Like about an hour from Chicago? Or?
An hour north.
All right, cool.
So, or 45 minutes about. So, but it's really beautiful, and you can just go in and look around.
I like sativas, so I tend to get like a little bit more of the harder buds. So.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's a bitch to keep lit though.
Really? It's pretty compact.
I feel
that's
that
a good thing.
Like I've tried different types of bowls and bongs and stuff like that, but the joint seems to work the best in interviews. So.
Yeah, that's true.